Today I'm going to show you how to fix a leaking faucet. I'm going to show you on a few different types of faucets. Hopefully it'll cover what you have at home. So the tools you're going to need are just basically three. You'll need a wrench, some needle nose pliers, and you'll probably need an Allen wrench of some sort. You can pick these up really cheap, and I'll put the links in the description box below where you can pick them up to cover what you need. You're also going to need to get a cartridge and a seat and a spring. I'll explain those, what those are, and how to get those as well in the description below. So the first thing you're going to need to do is you're going to have to turn off the water. There's a couple ways you can do it. I'll show you the ultimate way here is when you shut off right here. All you gotta do is pull the handle, and most people have is right in front of their house or in the back of where the main is. Now shut off all the water to the house. There's no need to do that, however, unless you have a broken shut off under the sink. But I wanted to show you that just in case. So let's go back over here where our project is, and you'll see a shut off usually right under your sink. Hot water on the left, cold water on the right. Different types of valves. Some are quarter turn, some are full turns, etc. You're just going to turn it as far to the right as it'll let you go. Both of them. Hot water and cold. So this one is really tight. So if you're having problems with that, you really don't want to risk breaking that valve, or you're going to be in big trouble. So the third thing to do is just leave that one open and go back to the other technique I showed you. Shut it off at the main, and then fix that valve as soon as you can. Don't mind the mess in here, just doing a rehab on this particular unit. So next thing you're going to do is bleed out the water. Open it up so it shuts off. So once the water is all bled out of there, you're good to go. So different types of faucets have different types of decorative handles and whatnot, but they're all very pretty much similar. Just got to find how to get the knob off. So on this particular one, you take off this decorative piece here, and if you look right here, you see a set screw, and that's where the Allen wrench comes in handy. You just got to find the right size to get that out. Once you get that out, this is going to pop right off. And that right there is called a cartridge. And that's the reason for your leak. Well, underneath it, so that's a handle off. You're going to see a cartridge here. And there's usually a ring that's holding on, as you can see. I'm trying to film and do this at the same time. Always turn to the left, lefty loosey, righty tighty. So just break that enough so you can do it by hand. See if I can get you in a shot here. And that's going to free up the cartridge. Now this is a little tricky. Usually there's a little tab that you can pull out. Sometimes there is, sometimes there isn't. First you want to notice, you want to make sure you see which direction it's going. And so that's the most important thing. So you really want to do is just take a picture of it if you have to, so you know which direction so you can put it back correctly. Now you're just going to play with this a little bit until it pops out. Like that. It'll just pop out usually. And then once you have the cartridge out, you're going to take a rag or a paper towel or something. Take your needle nose pliers in there and get in there and see if you can just get it dapped out where there's no more water. Kind of want to get the water out of there. And then you're going to take your needle nose pliers in there, and what you're going to find is a piece of rubber and a spring. This is what you're going to be replacing. This is the 99% of the reason for your leak. It's right here for your dripping faucet. So you can get out with your pliers and see a spring still in there. Sometimes it's a little hard to get up, but there it is. Once you do that, you can just take your rag and try to get all the water out of there as much as possible. You're going to need what are called seat and springs. And they come in a package like this, usually of an even number of like 8 or 10 or something like that. I'll link the description box below so you can see where to get those. Very inexpensive. It's a little harder to film at the same time, so I thought I'd put you down and show you. So you take your seat and your spring, and you're going to put the small end of the spring inside the seat, just like that. And once you do that, it takes a little practice, but it gets easy after a while. You can take the very end of your needle nose pliers, like that. So it's in there, you're ready to go. And then let's see. The next thing you're going to do is once you have that needle nose pliers, you see that hole in there. You're going to get that put right in there, spring side down. It might take you a few tries. Best thing what I usually do is I just kind of set it in there, then I take the end of the pliers and kind of push it down. Like so. Sometimes it's a little difficult and you're better off using your finger on some of them. Okay, there it is. It's in place now. You can see it. You need to press it too hard. It just needs to be set in there. And then you're going to take your cartridge, which is the thing we pulled out, and you're going to set it in there. By the way, if you get a new cartridge, you can replace that too as well. Sometimes they come in a set, but for this purpose, we're just going to replace the seat and spring because I know this is a good cartridge. So we're going to put it back exactly how you found it, like that. And once you get that in there secure and you have it where you want it, which is the way you found it, just make sure you put it back the way you found it, you'll be fine. You're going to take your nut and you're just going to put that, go hand tight with that. Usually I'll go one extra turn with a wrench or a half a turn or something like that. This one's a little bit loose, so a little bit more on this one. You don't want to over crank it, you don't want to strip those threads, just do it nice and tight where you can't move it anymore. Then you're just going to put your handle back in place. Kind of hard to do this one-handed, but I guess it's good practice for me. Maybe I'll get a cameraman or something. All right. Now that's an oops, I made a mistake already. You got to put that set screw back in there first. And again, yours might vary on what type of hardware you have. But it's, you just got to find a mechanism that gets it off is all. And then now, once you get that back on there and it's nice and tight where you want it, put it back together. Excuse me, trying to do it one-handed again. Here we go. This is a fancy one. It's got lots of parts to it. Kind of a pain in the ass. But I'll get it. There we go. And boom, that's all there is to it. And then you just want to turn the water back on. Water is turned back on. As you can see, it's not dripping. It's not leaking or anything. Turn it on, make sure it's going in the right direction. Turn it off, make sure it stops. And there you have it. Now here's the other kind of single handle faucet. Most of us have this in our kitchens. Sometimes some of us have it in the bathrooms also. So the way to take this off is pretty easy, and it's the same basic principle. So you'll see right here, I'll try to get the shot without getting in the way here. You'll usually see a brand name or something like that right there, symbol. That's just a piece of rubber, and that pops out. Sometimes you gotta use a small flathead screwdriver or something, but it pops out. Once you do that, you're gonna take your driver of the right type, find the right size. This is an Allen wrench here. You'll see a set screw in there if you look in that hole. You're going to take it, turn it to the left until it's not all the way out, but just loose enough where you can remove this handle. Usually 3 or 4 turns will do it. And then pull that straight up. Once that's off, you're going to see a nut like on the other one. You're just going to turn that to the left. Again, make sure your water's turned off before you do any of this. Once that's off, pull the collar up. And then you're going to be able to pull your cartridge straight out. And just it's a single cartridge, but it's got 2 holes there. And just like the other one, you're going to take a rag and kind of get the residual water out of there. Once you do that, you're going to see either 1 or 2 different models have different amounts, but in here there's 2 places for seat and spring. So you'll just right in there, you take those out like you did the other one. Replace everybody. I hope that was informative and helped you out in some significant way. If you have any questions or comments, please drop that in the comment section down below, and I'll be glad to get back to you as soon as I can. Tomorrow, you can see what kind of a mess this is here. The leak was coming from the garbage disposal. You can see it's rotted through and through, and it's been leaking for some time. So we're going to replace all this whole cabinet bottom, and we're going to replace some of that wall in the back, and we're definitely going to be replacing the garbage disposal. And that's the main tutorial tomorrow. It's quite simple, easier than you probably thought. You can do this yourself at home, save yourself a ton of money, and I'll be showing you how to do that tomorrow. So thanks for watching, and have a great day.